Hey guys, Jason from The Glitter Guy here again, and this week I have, it's a relatively quick tutorial, but what we're gonna do is use UV resin to make some rings. This can go any which way. There's ring blanks out there that you can use to make kind of like costume jewelry-esque stones and put them in the bezels of ring blanks. The type that I'm gonna use have just a blank channel in them. Here's one open. This one is a silver finish. You can get them in black. You can get them in wood finish. They're on Amazon. They're all over the place. Relatively inexpensive. I thought it was interesting because I actually use one as my wedding ring. Small backstory for that. I used to have forged carbon fiber ring because I did electrical work. Electricity and metal, no friends. So in order to be able to keep my ring on, I found an alternative. I know they have those like silicone and then Quelo rings and stuff, but if you work with your hands with a silicone ring on, it annihilates your skin and the tiny hairs, like you'll feel it tug. Not very comfortable. Sarah and I were at a Flyers game. I was using my ring. I didn't have a bottle opener, and if you guys are aware of a trick, you can actually pop a bottle with a ring. I popped Sarah's bottle with the ring, and it cracked it because it was just forged carbon fiber, and my ring literally broke in half. So my original wedding ring doesn't exist anymore. When I saw these ring blanks and stuff, I made this 2 years ago, way before I was carrying UV resin. I didn't even make it with UV resin. I didn't even know what UV resin was at the time. Since then, I've learned that I've made more of these so that I can like swap them out if I want to because of how easy it is. That's my backstory. Honestly, my speech about it is probably gonna take longer than it is to make these. That's how easy this is. Let's jump in. First thing that you need obviously is the blank. Like I said, Amazon, I'll have links down below, anything that you guys need to be able to do these. I'm gonna start with a silver one. They come in packs, literally just like this, that have a range of sizes. So if you don't even know your size, that's cool. Just buy the variety pack and figure it out from there. You can do alcohol inks, you can do paint, you can do all kinds of stuff to tint or affect your resin. I'm gonna do the powders. You get a lot of cool effects. I have a whole slew of our mica powders here. We're not gonna use them all. I just wanted to have options so that I could feel inspired in the moment. One thing we are absolutely going to do is add glow powders to it as well. My ring glows in the dark. Before I started the video, I was telling Chris about it. This glows so well, you can't see it in the day, but at night, when I would go to put Alex down in her crib, she would go reaching for it because it was just like a beacon of blue. I actually used blue glow powder in my ring. Very simple what you need. Ring, UV resin, mica powder to tint it, and then a sun source to cure it. I'm using my Power of the Sunlight that I have here. You can use the smaller scale lights that we have on the website. You can find powerful ones on Amazon, or you can just literally do this outside. Like, it's that easy. We're gonna just have a couple different cups so that I got a couple different options to mix with here. The beauty about the UV resin, we don't have a time constraint. I'm in here, I know it's bright in here, no windows. There's nothing, very limited UV. I like the chameleon powders. That's almost like a no-brainer to be able to have like a color shift. I don't even know if I have any of my chameleon powders with me. Yeah, here we go, mica bay. That's what I thought. Here's a chameleon, little tap, 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 tap. You can add too much. You don't want too much powder in any of your resin, whether you're using UV or anything, because it changes the ratio, you know, like it needs to be able to harden to do its reaction. And if you start putting too many additives in, it just affects it poorly. Start with less and build up. Your life can be made easier if you have something to hold this. There are obviously like ring sizers and stuff that exist in the world. I was actually looking at this like bin of old brushes that we have next to us earlier because I need something to hold this, and this is actually gonna work kind of nicely for me. I'm gonna jam this thing all the way towards the end. Not made for this, it's just an old dirty brush, but this thing ain't gonna go nowhere, and now I'm not gonna get stuff on my hands. Let's see what we have glow powder wise here. I'm actually not sure if I even have any glows in here. All right, so glow powder acquired. I grabbed some yellow green. I like to go a little heavier handed with the glow. Now, like I said, you don't want to go too much powder. We are going to take our UV resin and mica bay mix. I think that this is looking good. But actually, because of the powder is a little more of a white base, it kind of shored up that pink. A little less bubblegum, a little more baby pink now. Grab my ring back. Now an epoxy syringe would make this very easy as well. Having it on like a little turner arm, even a hand turner, being able to just rotate it or have it rotate while you just slowly squeeze out epoxy out of a little epoxy syringe, definitely an option. Like I said, we're going with a little manual method here, and we are going to get the same desired result. So what I'm doing now is I'm using a silicone brush as a squeegee, essentially. And I'm going around the edge to get that bubble, essentially, out of there. I'm self-leveling, cleaning the edges at the same time while I do this. And then anything else that's not still clean, you can go back in with a Dremel afterwards. So what I'm going to do is throw on my shades. We're going to make the room glow a little bit. UV resin so that doesn't cure. My little cup. Curing. Alright. And even because the outside surface is so smooth, a lot of the times this resin will almost like peel right off just like that. Alright, so I'm just using the Scotty peeler, guys, just to clean up the edge a bit. Like I said, you can use the Dremel, use whatever. But I mean, essentially, that's like one completed ring there, you know, and that took very minimal amount of time. You can go back in and polish up the edges if you want to. That's one. I would like to make another, just because this was so easy, I feel like doing two. And I have black ones here also, so you can get a different kind of color look. So let's go with something a little more vibrant. My ring is blue, so we have an example of blue. Why don't we do this neon orange and black? Let's do that. Oh, I wasn't thinking. I had these poured out in front of the light while it was curing. The resin's hard. It literally, the mic is just sitting on top. These are smooth. Like if I know I talked about it in previous videos and stuff, but like epoxy needs something to bond to. Anything adhesive wise needs something to bond to. It can't be on a smooth surface. That's why silicone mats don't stick epoxy to them. They're non-porous. So these rings are smooth. They're non-porous. The reason why the epoxy stays and works is because you're making it in a ring pattern. It's adhering to itself, and it's essentially stuck in that channel. You can go in there just like I did with the Scotty peeler. I could go in my wedding ring that I made with the Scotty peeler, and I can cut this out, and it will peel right on out like a banana peel. And I can reuse this again and put something else in. That's like the beauty of this, is if you hate it, it's fine. Like, it's so fine. Learning curve. Make sure all your exposed UV resin is not near the light source when you're using it. You can just dump the mica in there. Oh, that's better. That's the desired effect. Any of the fluorescent colors, they pop, they glow, it's crazy. But it is a bonus factor. UV like / black light reactive. This ring likely is gonna glow. I said people will probably come and be like, you know, you can do it easier like this or faster like this, and those are acceptable. My argument is just that, didn't this work too? Told you, I knew it would glow. Not only gonna have glow powder added to this. I mean, I guess it's a missed opportunity, but I knew I could have got glow powder. I just already got up once and I didn't feel like going to get another glow powder. Yeah, so I mean, I just learned myself a new technique right here on the camera for applying this. In the past with my rings, I was always just filling the channel and kind of squeegeeing out the excess. This time I just kind of let it drip and drizzle right down the center and then constantly spin it slowly until it's self-leveled. Also with UV resin, if the light can't penetrate it, it can't cure it. Too thick of layers of UV resin, it will not cure. If you have it in an apparatus that does not have clear sides and blocks the sun from getting to it, it will not cure. If you add too much powder to it to make it more of an opaque color like it is now, it's not going to cure as well. I'm going to tell you right now that my absolute mistake with this is that I let it be one layer for something that is such a solid opaque color like the orange once the resin is in it. With that, this light has been doing its thing, and she is nice and cute. Because this one is built up a little bit thicker with the method that I just did with drizzling it, I can feel that it's not fully cured underneath. So like I said, it needs to be thinner layers if you're doing opaque colors. I think that's really all I got for this craft, man. This is a few different options of rings that you guys can definitely make very quickly and very easily. Like I said, I'm positive that if you go back and do the math, I talked far more than I crafted in this video. So if you guys like this video, if you guys like the stuff that we're doing and we keep doing, then please like, follow, subscribe, hit all the buttons down below. do the thing so that we can keep feeling inspired to make cool videos like this for you guys so that you can make cool stuff to show us. See ya.